G-Roll Electronic Productions, baby.
Welcome. I'm your local neighborhood psychotherapist, JJ, here to cover the news today. Talk about some of the crazy stuff that's going on. I did one earlier. I did a live stream earlier today where I covered various topics. I'm going to be doing more and more live stuff throughout the week now. So be checking it out. So make sure you hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm going live. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's see. First, we're going to start off talking about Bernie Sanders and how Bernie Sanders indicates he may run again in 2024. Bernie lost a lot of his following. A lot of people don't fool with Bernie anymore because they basically believe he didn't fight back when Hillary Clinton stole the primaries from him. He just gave in, and a lot of the Bernie bros is like, you know what, we're done with Bernie Sanders. So I don't know what to really make of this as of right now. But this is from Just the News. All right, let's see. Oops, hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I'm live. Okay, we're good. All right. So Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders this week suggested he may run for president again in 2024, though the longtime socialist did not outright confirm his intentions one way or another. Quote, "That's a big, I haven't made that decision," Sanders said when asked about his plans on CBS Morning. Were Sanders to run, he will be the oldest person to have ever attempted to do so by a considerable margin. The senator will be 83 years old in 2024. And let's talk about some of the oldest people in our country are actually the ones that's running this country. Make that make sense to me. I mean, most of these people, they're in years where they should be retired. You would not have an 83-year-old the head of a Fortune 500 company. So why would you want them to be the head of the United States, the president of the United States, the CEO, chief executive officer of the United States? Why would you want that? That makes no sense to me. He should be retired, living his best life right now. Why is he even in government right now? Why are these old folks in government? It makes no sense to anyone that's paying attention. Joe Biden, who among presidents or presidential contenders is closest to Sanders in his age, was 77 when he ran for and won the presidency in 2020. Sanders on CBS appeared to try to dismiss concerns about his advanced age. Quote, "Look, this is what I think," he said on the show. "You can't categorize everybody. You're different than everybody. We're all different. We've had to look at we've got to look at the individual. But what I think we do, guys, is we look too much at race, at gender, at age. What does somebody stand for?" he continued. "What are their views? Do you agree with them?" Well, I think the people on the left will be pretty upset that he's talking about people looking too much at race, because we know the people on the left, that's all they look at. All they care about is race. We know that's why a lot of people in government right now got their jobs, like Karine Jean-Pierre. Like, the only reason she's in there is because she checked boxes. It's like Kamala Harris, someone who has no merit really, and she just checked boxes. That's why she's vice president, and that's what people on the left want. So I'm surprised to hear Bernie Sanders even say that. Very, very interesting. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. We got Supercut as Democrat prospects in the 2020 midterms continue to wane. Party leaders preach violence against Americans. Now, this is despicable. This is terrible. Already saw this Supercut. It's ridiculous what they're doing and calling for violence and all this other stuff and calling Republicans evil and fascists and all this other stuff. No, you guys are the ones that's actually the fascists. You're the ones that's trying to control everything. You're the ones that's telling people what they can and can't say, what they can and can't do, not Republicans. But it is becoming more and more apparent that even the fake news media will not be able to run cover for the Democrats as the November election approaches. More Americans than ever are aware of the Democrat plot to destroy the country. Joe Biden is the worst president in U.S. history. I would say he's the second worst, but he's definitely coming in he's darn near almost the first. But I have to give the first to Wilson. Because Wilson is the one that introduced the Federal Reserve. He's the one that really set the country on pace for destruction. But inflation is at a 40-year high, and it's not receding. Gas prices, of course, are the highest they've ever been under Joe Biden, and this is a direct result of his anti-energy policies, of course. And I podcast about it earlier on my earlier stream, how gas prices are going back up again, even though just a couple weeks ago, Democrats were bragging about prices going down. Joe Biden surrendered Afghanistan to the Taliban and armed them with $80 billion in U.S. arms, including 600,000 weapons and 200 aircraft. The Biden regime knew there was an Islamist bomber in the crowd at the Kabul airport, but did nothing. This cost 13 young Americans' lives, and he should really be looked at for that. The Islamist bomber was released from Bagram prison after Joe Biden abandoned an important U.S. asset. Joe Biden declared open war on his political opposition, and that continues right now. We see what's happening to people on the right, how older people protecting their older Catholics protecting their son get raided by the FBI for simply that. Joe Biden and his Stasi FBI are raiding the homes of political opponents on misdemeanor charges. That's what I was just alluding to. Joe Biden opened the border to 2 million illegal aliens this year. Joe Biden allowed tons of illegal drug entry into the country via the open borders, causing over 100,000 annual deaths. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's a bunch. You can impeach him for some of this stuff. Joe Biden pushed the U.S. economy into recession in 18 short months, and it's about to get worse. And I agree with that. It is going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Joe Biden's foreign policy is going to destroy Europe and could launch a nuclear war with Russia. Let's see what else we got going on. The only thing Democrats have going for them is the fraud. They can always count on millions of illegal votes to pad the margins. This makes Democrats very angry. And Democrats and Joe Biden are now openly calling for violence against the American people as if their policies were not violent enough. Now, this is despicable. I don't understand how they get away with doing this. So let's take a look at this supercut.
This means war. That is where we are. We are at war with these people. These folks are evil.
There is an ultra-right MAGA contingent in this country that wants to overthrow the U.S. government.
It is a danger to our democracy. It is a danger to our way of life.
The MAGA movement is a threat.
The extremists that we're dealing with every single day, we've got to kill and confront that movement.
Clearly, this is a literally call to arms.
Remember when she said that? She said this is literally a call to arms. Literally a call to arms. And they get away with this. And the media, and they can say they can espouse this rhetoric and get away with it because they know the mainstream media isn't going to call them out on this bullcrap. Like, how do you literally have a call to arms and CNN and MSNBC and all of them, they don't check you on it. They don't ask you about it.
Obviously, Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy. We don't separate right-wing extremists and Republican Party anymore.
See, and that's the point. That's the point. That's what they're trying to do. They're not trying to separate the two anymore between MAGA, Republican, even rhinos. You rhinos out there are going to get thrown under the bus as well. So y'all better figure it out quickly that they are coming for everyone with the R next to their name.
See this as a party, a MAGA party that no longer is confident that they can win elections with votes. And so now they're seeking to enact their political will through violence.
This is literally what conservative white folks do when they don't get their way.
So what about conservative black folks? I can't stand this guy here. I'll be seeing him on MSNBC all the time. This guy's an idiot. He espoused some crazy ideology. It's nonsense. I wish I could debate this guy.
They turn violent.
Today's GOP is no longer a political movement. It is a fascist movement.
And this is why it could be more dangerous than 1860 or the 1930s.
Clearly, this is a literally call to arms.
Maybe now it is all about the violence. It all is about an insurrection. It all is, in his mind, about a civil war.
It feels like we are not just at the brink of a civil war, but that one has already begun.
The fact.
Yeah, and the leftists are the ones that's pushing it. Like the guy that ran over that teenage boy because he was a Republican. It's crazy, and they're saying that it's the conservatives, is the Republicans that's doing it. When it's nothing could be further from the truth.
The fact that the base is getting smaller, it makes it more dangerous in a lot of ways because those are the people who are willing to do things like take up arms and press the questions and tactics that lead to civil war.
This is someone who held that office who is basically saying to Americans there should be civil war.
Look at what he's doing last night, as you note, that more or less salutes that are either QAnon or almost look like Nazism.
You saw the rally in Ohio the other night. Trump is there ranting and raving for more than an hour, and you have these rows of young men with their arms raised.
Why is Hillary still around? Why won't the Clintons just go away? No one is listening to them. I don't understand who's giving these people a platform. I don't. Just go away. Why the Clintons won't? Why Hillary just won't go away? Nobody wants you for anything. So why are you still talking?
These crazed, deranged folks who want to impart evil in every facet of our society.
Clearly, this is a literally call to arms.
Despicable. Despicable. All right, let's see what other news we got here. All right, this is from Just the News. IG report blasts Biden admin for not taking care of children after opening the border. A scathing report from the Department of Health and Human Services Inspector General has found that the Biden administration failed to properly take care of migrant children at processing centers amid a massive influx of arrivals at the southern border, driven in part by the administration's own policies. Now, remember when they tried to lie and say that Trump was putting children in cages and stuff, and now they're just like neglecting I don't know what's going on here at the border, what they're doing with the children here. But the study focused on the emergency intake site, EIS, established at Fort Bliss, Texas. It found that, quote, operational challenges within Office of Refuge Resettlement and at the EIS hindered case management, which raises concern related to children's safe and timely release from ORR care. Moreover, it highlighted concerns about EIS, which states that, quote, the facility rushed opening impeded ORR ability to bring in experienced case managers and provide them with adequate and timely training. The lengthy time between status updates that ensued, in some cases weeks at a time, prompted, quote, many children to experience distress, anxiety, and in some cases panic attacks. So he's literally giving kids panic attacks. An alarming section of the report revealed that the ORR issued guidance to speed up processing times, but in so doing, remove safeguards during the sponsor screening process. Although the purpose of the guidance was to reduce delays, the removal of these safeguards may have also increased children's risk released to some unsafe sponsors, the IG continued. And that's what they've been saying. They've been saying like these people are going to homes where they have no business. These kids are going to homes they have no business being in. Let's see. The IG recommended that the agency develop a plan to hire more case managers, overhaul existing training for them, develop an emergency policy for an unexpected influx, improve its digital case management system, and to inform staff of whistleblower protections so as to identify further deficiencies in the system. Oh, so now whistleblowers are okay, which I agree with. There's nothing wrong with whistleblowers. But you know how they treat FBI whistleblowers. You see what's going on with them. They're getting put on leave without pay and fired and all this other stuff. The report comes amid unprecedented migration flux at the United States southern border, with more than 2 million migrant encounters documented in the past fiscal year alone. Total encounters in August topped 200,000. The journey to the U.S. is rife with danger due to natural barriers and the presence of drug and human trafficking operations. Earlier this year, the United Nations International Organization of Migration labeled the U.S. border with Mexico the deadliest land crossing in the world. That is huge. That is huge. The United Nations labeled them that. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. All right. Dr. Fauci spotted maskless at Aspen Airport after telling Americans to wear masks indoors. I mean, hypocrisy on top of hypocrisy. You can't put anything past these people. Look, how is this okay? How is this okay? Oh my gosh. I can't. I hope in his next interview, they ask him about this. Lord Fauci was spotted maskless in Aspen Airport this weekend. Look at him. Idiot. Fauci recently told Americans to wear masks in indoor settings. Dr. Fauci wasn't wearing a mask because no TV cameras were around. He's so fake. A friend took this pic of Fauci at the Aspen Airport this weekend. Why no mask? Because no TV cameras were around. Crazy, right? I'm about to have to save this one. So I can refer back to it. But Dr. Fauci recently lectured Americans on the virtue of mask wearing. Fauci, over the summer, fired off another warning shot and said that the pandemic isn't over. Fauci urged people to get vaccinated and boosted, even though the latest CDC data show that stupid 19 infections are higher in boosted Americans compared to unboosted. Dr. Fauci also advised people to wear a mask in indoor settings. Quote, hopefully the more people that get jabbed and boosted and the more people that realize the importance of when you have a high level of viral dynamics, that when you're in an indoor setting, you should wear a mask, even though the whole world, including the United States and the UK, are just worn out and tired of the outbreak. It isn't over yet, Fauci said over the summer. Fauci continued, people need to realize it is never going to go back to zero. That's not the nature of this virus. On July 25th, Fauci said Americans should wear masks in schools, places of work, and any place that brings people together in closed environment. Except for when Fauci is in Aspen at the airport, he is to this rule. Despicable. Again, yeah, rules for thee, but not for me. It's ridiculous here. But what you expect from Fauci? From Ouchie Fauci? All right, let's see what else. My computer is bugging out right now. All right. Sorry, y'all. My computer keep bugging out. Boomer Tech over here. My slow computer. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it starts working right. All right. Maine Department of Education calls MAGA a form of covert racism and white supremacy. This is nuts here. This is nuts here. Now that we've settled into the notion of sitting president of the United States labeling a former president and his supporters as semi-fascists who pose a, quote, threat to the rule of law, it comes as zero surprise that a Democrat governor refuses to remove a controversial video from her state's Department of Education, labeling MAGA a form of covert racism and white supremacy. Yawn. Way too predictable. Yeah, it's the same tropes. It's the same thing they keep calling us. The Maine Department of Education offers a program titled Maine Online Opportunities for Sustained Education, MOOSE. A report by the Daily Caller that includes a charge against MAGA, first popularized by former President Donald Trump in a module on inclusivity for the state educators. Governor Janet Mills steadfastly refuses to remove the ridiculous taxpayer-funded video. It gets even more ridiculous. As the caller noted, the video contains other examples of alleged covert racist ideas, including education funding from property taxes. What? How is that? That's crazy. Columbus Day, of course, they hate Columbus Day. Anti-immigration policies, not challenging racist jokes, all lives matter, racist Halloween costumes, assuming good intentions are enough, and more. Like, this is straight up CRT. It's straight up CRT. The module contrasts covert racism with overt racism and white supremacy, including lynching, wearing blackface, and using racial slurs. You don't suppose that includes racial slurs against conservative Republicans like Associate Justice Clarence Thomas, and I talk about that all the time. What they say about Justice Thomas. They say some race. It's okay to say racist stuff to a black man if the black man is a conservative, if he's a Republican. That's how the left feel. Media personality and former California gubernatorial candidate Larry Elder and other black conservatives. Do you? A spokesman for the department went to buck passing Biden mode, telling they trademarked it, telling a local news outlet that the state had no part in creating the video. So why use the video then? The Department of Education will continue to empower teachers, parents, and elected school boards to make their own decisions in public education in Maine, despite attacks like these. He said, the writer from Red State said, I don't want to nitpick here, but if a school board made its own decision condemning critical race theory indoctrination of young children or on-demand abortion until birth, neither of which will ever happen, of course, would this liberal hack and equally hypocritical governor empower those videos, particularly with taxpayer money? The question is rhetorical, and liberals are the most hypocritical group of people on the face of the earth. And I would agree. We just pointed out the hypocrisy. We just pointed out the hypocrisy of Fauci. But the bottom line, it couldn't be clearer why embattled Joe Biden and his equally beset Democrat Party have further reduced themselves to lying about Donald Trump and patriotic Americans, some of whom, to be fair, might be certifiably crazy. So he's talking about QAnon, the QAnon shaman. He's a nut job. But they hardly qualify as semi-fascists or threats to the rule of law, much less insurrectionists. Biden intentionally created crisis, have brought this country to the edge of something, what I'm not yet sure, that's heading into an ominous direction. So that is that. Let's talk about Politico here. This is another Red State article. Politico tries to politicize a hurricane to slam DeSantis and invites a storm of backlash. I haven't checked this headline out. I just saw the headline. I haven't read this one yet, so let's see what this one is about. With the tempest bearing down on Florida, Politico tries a preemptive hit on Governor DeSantis and drowns in failure. The press sometimes just cannot help themselves when it comes to slanting coverage and placing a hit job on political rivals. When it comes to lightning rod, whether pun intended, like Ron DeSantis, journalists will dispatch their normal calls for decorum and humanity in a time of crisis. Scoring a political hit takes priority over decency. This is ridiculous. Now, we know the things that hurricanes can do to certain areas, the damage they cause, people die from these things, but they'd rather score political points and bash the governor of Florida than try to help them out in their soon-to-be time of need, because I'm sure The last I checked, it's going to be pretty. I think it was 3. I think it's going to be a pretty decent hurricane. But at Politico, Florida Bureau reporter Matt Dixon saw the need to beat other reporters to the punch in slandering the governor over his hurricane response. The hurricane that has yet to hit the state's west coast. Dixon wants to open the door to calamity and invite criticism on DeSantis over his response to the imposing beast storm. The hurricane is on track to make landfall in the state just 6 weeks ahead of the November election, and depending on how well the governor responds to the potentially catastrophic storm, DeSantis may emerge more popular or open himself up to criticism. Although Dixon lays out numerous ways the governor has been working with preparedness, he still saw the need to inject politics into the mix. While no elected official wishes for a major natural disaster, hurricanes offer almost unlimited access to free national media, a huge boost to any governor's political fortunes. Fail a response, hard to get reelected, and your agenda stalls. Former Federal Emergency Management Agency Administrator Craig Fugate, who served as Bush's emergency management director, said in a text message, "Do well though, and it adds capital to your agenda and sets you up for higher office. This is a major hurricane brewing, a potential category 4. So it's a 4 now. Yeah, last night when I was checking earlier this morning, it was a 3. But it's set to impact a major metropolitan area. There is no operating from an agenda in play when this transpires. Preparedness and then proper responses are the priority over politics. But Dixon cannot help but infuse his supposedly sober assessment with politics. Politics has no play in this here. For instance, there is absolutely nothing at all here connected to the immigration flight to Martha's Vineyard, but Matt is sure to drop the incident into his piece. Although DeSantis's opponent in the gubernatorial race, Charlie Crist, is given his share of content-free commentary, ensuring his name is present in the affair. Of course, a spokesperson for Democratic challenger Charlie Crist says Sunday night his campaign is monitoring the situation. As of right now, we have not made any final decisions as far as ads. Sam Rodriguez, a Crist spokesperson, but we are preparing to mobilize and deploy campaign assets in any way we can to support potential recovery efforts. Thank you for that, Sam. Your selfless bravery is loaded for the record. Yeah, he has nothing to do with this. He's running. He got nothing to do with this hurricane. Perhaps there is no better way to illustrate the pre-written aspect of this piece than a small nugget contained therein. In setting up the prospect of this being a need to prove himself moment for DeSantis, we get the solemn moment from Dixon. DeSantis still hasn't faced one of the toughest challenges a Florida leader can encounter, a hurricane. Now, a reminder, Dixon is the Florida Bureau reporter for Politico. I bring that back to light. In order to frame the lack of diligence performed in this piece, see the governor has in fact dealt with a hurricane impact the state already. Yeah, that's true. And so Brad tweeted out, "Hey, journalists at Politico." September 16, 2020. That's right. So Politico don't even do their own research before they make their hit pieces. This is crazy. At least do your research and Google it. All you got to do is like Google when did DeSantis get in office? When was the last hurricane in Florida? And then you would know you wouldn't look stupid when you write this article when you don't know. And now people know that you don't know what the heck you're talking about. The article goes on to say that I might dare suggest that DeSantis has a better grasp on hurricane history, preparedness, and using state and federal response efforts than Matt Dixon at Politico. So I agree. All right, let's talk about this Jerry Nadler thing here. This is crazy. I can't believe Jerry Nadler admitted to this. Oh, hold on, let me make sure. Okay. All right. Trump's first sham impeachment trial was unconstitutional, Jerry Nadler reportedly said. I can't wait to see what Nadler said about this. In late 2019, Democrats thought they had him. They drew up articles of impeachment for then President Donald Trump, accusing him of obstruction of Congress and abuse of power, all of which stem from a phone call the former president had with Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky. And I talked about this before on my old channel. I've talked about it before on this channel, and how this whole thing, all Trump wanted to do was make sure there wasn't no corruption going on with Biden. And this is before Biden even announced he was running. Biden I think Biden didn't even, he said he wasn't going to run beforehand. So this is before we even knew Biden was going to be running, when he asked the president of Ukraine about what's going on with Hunter Biden and Burisma and all this other stuff. But impeachment, which was nothing short of a total sham, didn't quite go as planned. Democrats were humiliated on a large scale when Trump emerged without a scratch after the U.S. Senate voted to acquit him on the charges in early 2020. Regardless, the weaponization of the impeachment process was still uncalled for. According to a couple of political insiders, at least one prominent Democrat had feuded with his colleagues over the constitutionality of Trump's first impeachment. In a bombshell report about the forthcoming book called Unchecked, the untold story behind Congress' botched impeachment of Donald Trump, co-authored by Political Playbook's Rachel Bade and Washington Post reporter Karun Demajin or whatever. I apologize, I cannot pronounce that. But it was revealed that none other than House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler was absolutely not in agreement with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. I can't believe that. Or House Select Committee Chairman Adam Schiff were prepared to handle the impeachment process. I mean, that is huge news right there. Jerry Nadler, of all people. Fox News noted in October 2019, amid Democrats' plan to hold a full House vote on a resolution outlining the structure of impeachment proceedings against Trump, Nadler, according to the book, took issue with how Schiff, who was tapped by Pelosi to lead the impeachment efforts, was prepared to proceed with the impeachment without due process for Trump. Worried about the situation and the likelihood that his Judiciary Committee would not be able to cross-examine witnesses as the committee had done traditionally, Nadler confronted Schiff about the planned process and, according to the book, said, quote, "It's unfair and it's unprecedented and it's unconstitutional." But they went with it anyway, though. So he probably was like the only person that was pushing back. In response to Nadler's many concerns about the particular process that was used by Schiff and Pelosi, Schiff reportedly responded by saying, quote, "I don't appreciate your tone. I worry you're putting us in a box for our investigation." Nadler and his staff were reportedly sidelined for a spell while Pelosi and Schiff and every Dem involved in the sham impeachment carried on with the process. Nadler and his staffers, the author claimed, worked overtime to get back in the good graces of the House Democratic leaders. The strategy to include the Judiciary Committee in the impeachment process, after all, seemed to have worked before it all fell apart again. And Fox added, she didn't want the Judiciary panel to interview witnesses at all. The book's author wrote, and of course you didn't want witnesses because the witnesses will confirm what Trump was saying all along, that this whole thing is a sham, is made up. Remember when Schiff went and read the supposed transcripts from the phone call, and it's a total lie. And then when he got called out on a lie because Trump released it, he was like, I can't remember his excuse. I can't remember his excuse for it. But he made up some dumb excuse on why he lied about the transcript. And Pelosi simply didn't trust the panel, which was stacked with liberal crusaders and hot-headed conservatives, to handle the rollout of the complex Ukraine narrative with the careful, compelling treatment it required. She couldn't afford another Nadler screw-up. The Judiciary Chairman could focus on legal business of crafting the articles of impeachment and have academics testify. She allowed, but that was it. Though there wasn't much historical information regarding past impeachment, as haven't been that many, as there haven't been that many. Nadler went out of his way to prove that in previous impeachments, the presidents who were accused, at least at the chance through their attorneys, to face their accusers and mount a defense in front of the Judiciary Committee. And that's the thing. You should be able to defend yourself. They would not allow Trump to go and defend himself. Though there wasn't much historical... Oh, yeah, I went over that already. In the book, the authors wrote that Nadler said, quote, if we're going to impeach, we need to show the country that we gave the president ample opportunity to defend himself. Schiff and Pelosi didn't care about the Constitution or legal due process as they proceeded to move forward. Bade and Demarjan noted that Schiff and Pelosi were too worried about what Trump's lawyers might say during such an exchange, worried that they might say something to screw up Dem candidates in the 2020 election. Wow. The author wrote that Schiff's response to Nadler's demand for due process, even for Trump, was a blunt F Trump, he reportedly said. I mean, these are the people that's supposedly running our country. You got Shifty Schiff, who's one of the dirtiest of the dirtbags in government, talking about F Trump. It's despicable. It's despicable. The relationship between the three leaders, and especially between Schiff and Nadler, devolved even further, Fox noted. Quote, I write the rules of my committee, not you, Nadler added. I resent you telling me how to run my committee. I don't really care about your resentment, Schiff quipped. Neither the speaker nor I agree. So it was this back and forth. I mean, this stuff that happened behind the scene. I had no idea that Jerry Nadler was like, it's unconstitutional. I don't like Jerry Nadler like one iota, but at least he stood up a little bit because he knows the process wasn't right. And then they end up looking like idiots by the end of it. All right, Biden's America. Retailers opt for empty shelves to prevent theft. Now this is bad. It's it's bad when retailers rather keep their shelves empty than stock their shelves because they're worried that they might get the store will get bum rushed and wrecked and people will steal stuff. I've never heard of anything like this ever. Many retailers are emptying their shelves across the country, but not because of low stock. A concerning increase in thefts has pushed companies to put more products under lock and key, the Wall Street Journal reports. At one Best Buy store in the suburbs of Houston, where hundreds of items like Bose speakers and Fitbit activity trackers used to sit on the shelves, shoppers will instead find small blue signs that read, this product is kept in secure location. That's sad. This is sad. That's why we got to vote these Democrats out. They got to go because they are destroying our country. Surging crime rates across the country are hitting retailers hard. The National Retail Federation's 2022 Retail Security Survey found that retailers lost $94.5 billion overall in 2021, mainly due to external theft and organized retail crime. And I'm sure once we're done with 2022, it's going to be even higher. The theft attempts at Home Depot are on the rise compared to with before the pandemic. Home Depot Vice President of Asset Protection Scott Glenn told the Journal, last year the supermarket giant Kroger for the first time listed organized theft as a factor pressuring profit margins. Starbucks has had to close 16 U.S. stores this year because of drug-related incidents and other disruptions, the Journal reported. Well, I blame Starbucks because Starbucks was the ones that people could just come in our place and use the bathroom and all this other stuff, and now look at them. 12 Democrat-ran cities hit record high crime last year. The Washington Free Beacon reported voters have responded by turning on left-wing prosecutors who supported lighter sentences, less policing, and the elimination of cash bail. President Joe Biden, meanwhile, has blamed the crime spike on illegal gun trafficking and has focused on gun control legislation. That's his way of deflecting. That's his way of deflecting. An organized retail crime is more than petty shoplifting, and the economic impact has become alarming. Retail Industry Leaders Association senior executive vice president of public affairs Michael Hansen said in 2021, professional thieves and organized criminals rings are building a business model by stealing and reselling products increasingly online throughout the marketplace platforms like Amazon or Facebook. While Best Buy has always kept its high value items locked in the back, the number of locked items is higher in locations like Houston, where police data show the crime rates have risen. Do they mean Houston? Is that a typo, or is there an area called Houston? I'm gonna have to look that up. But executives fear that more secured items will inconvenience customers and reduce sales. Some retailers are looking into customer-friendly high-tech security solutions, while others are giving employees more safety training. And again, we got to vote these people out. They are destroying our country. When retailers choose not to fill their shelves, I mean, it's a problem. That's a huge problem. Now, this is the last piece of news I'm gonna go over. Then maybe I'm gonna check out some Twitter and maybe check out some videos. We'll see what's going on Twitter. And this is from the Washington Free Beacon. Exclusive: Republicans within striking distance in deep blue Los Angeles district, spelling trouble for House Dems. Now, this is very, very surprising to me. Deep blue Los Angeles. Deep blue Los Angeles. We know how leftist they are. I'm surprised by this. Republican congressional hopeful Matt Jacobs is within striking distance of his incumbent Democrat opponent in a deep blue Los Angeles district, a revelation that could force the Democrat Party to spin in a race they expected to win handily. Jacobs, a former federal prosecutor, trails five-term Congresswoman Julia Brownley by just 4.8 points in California 26th district. So that's like almost within a margin of error. A September on message poll obtained exclusively by the Washington Free Beacon shows while President Joe Biden won the district by a whopping 25 points. Wow. 2 years ago, independent voters have since soured on Democrats as America faced record high inflation. Jacobs, for example, holds a 10-point lead over Brownlee with independents, according to the poll. The survey also found that Brownlee's unfavorable rating has climbed 5 points since March. Pretty big deal. Those findings will likely alarm House Democrats who expect to cruise to victory in the liberal district, which includes portions of Los Angeles County. The Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee does not include Brownlee on its list of vulnerable members, and the election handicapper Cook Political Report does not consider Brownlee district to be competitive. But on messages, a September poll shows otherwise, meaning Democrats could be forced to commit resources to defend Brownlee as their partisan counterparts go on offense. The National Republican Congressional Committee added Brownlee to its target list in March and is working to flip 4 other California seats. That would be amazing if that happens. Republicans have reason to believe that they can win in once long shot Golden State districts, according to a March Public Policy Institute of California poll. Just 46% of likely California voters approve of Biden, compared to 51% who disapprove. Those numbers marked a 19-point skid in just 1 year. 19 whole points in a 2021 poll from the same group. Biden enjoyed the support of 65% of likely California voters. That is ridiculous, ridiculously high. 4 California Republicans, meanwhile, flipped blue seats to red in 2020, even as Biden won the state by 29 points. Brownlee's low name ID, the poor perception of local Democrats, and a tied generic ballot show that the race will continue to be competitive and can narrow in the final stretch. On message poll states, As Jacobs is winning over independents, Brownlee is struggling to consolidate younger voters and college-educated voters. This seat deserves attention as Election Day nears. The Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee did not return requests. All right, so let's check out Twitter now. Let's see what's going on with Twitter. All right. Let's see what this is. Nah, the kids are right. In 2022, work ethic is for suckers. The employers see workers as disposable and treat them as such. Employees that go the extra mile, kill themselves working, get nothing in return. And Jesse Kelly responded, employers treat you like you're disposable when you're disposable. The 10th ranked salesman at the car dealership is disposable and will be treated as such. The number one guy gets to show up late now and then. That's true. That's true. Merit. It's all about merit. It's about what you can do. If you are disposable, then you're not doing your job right. Let's see. What's your favorite, funniest movie? Okay, what is this here? 40 years ago today, Vanity 6 released Nasty Girl. Okay, I remember that song. Great, great song from back in the day. Showing my age there. Let's see. What we got here? Chambersburg Police Department searching for missing teen. Oh, man. That's not good. That's never good. Let's see what else we got here. Any important news going on? Then we'll look and see what's trending. Let's see. Tweet is unavailable. This thread is incredible. Sussex police first threatened a member of the public for misgendering a serial pedo, now doubling down and insisting that airing gender critical beliefs must not be expressed on his platform. Wow. And they got rid of the tweet. That's what we got here. Then my boy Ducey. I like Ducey. I mean, I know he's kind of like center, a little bit, some leftist issues. What is this here? Let's see what this is here.
Jen Psaki says that crime is a huge vulnerability for Democrats. Why would she say that?
I don't agree with your characterization of what she actually said.
If it is a referendum on the president, they will lose, and they know that. They also know that crime is a huge vulnerability for Democrats. I would say one of the biggest vulnerabilities.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Jen Psaki.
All right, let's see here. Michael Malice. He's showing this here. Let's see. I love this site. Clearly, the first speaker was quoting Marx. Let's see. This is the exact rhetoric communists. There is no point in shaming a theoretical system for not being able to work in practice when there is no system that is currently operating in the world that has worked as advertised. Might as well pick the theoretical one that has universal morality. Where's the universal morality if you're taking something from someone and giving it to someone else? How is that moral? Yeah. Let's see, he was clear. Yeah, it's definitely Marx. Let's see. Iowa teen appeals court ordered to pay restitution to family of alleged R-word, and that is despicable. I've seen that. I've read that. I could not believe that happened. This woman. This person, I don't know her age at the time, but someone was being R-word by a person, and she killed that person because they were doing terrible. They were sexually abusing abusing her, and now she has to pay restitution. That is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Steve Bannon, Tim Pool, and Jack Posobiec will be speaking. Ooh, I wish I could go there. Phoenix in December. That's awesome. I wish I could go there, but I'm more than likely won't be able to make it. Let's see. Happy Slaves. I haven't seen this movie yet. I want to see it. Uncle Tom 2. I haven't even seen the first one, to be honest with you, but I'm gonna check it out soon. It's on my to watch list. Let's see. What is this? I don't know. There's some weird stuff here on Twitter. What is this here? Yes, even as the hurricane is tearing your house down, permanently devastating your community and ruining your life, at least, he said as least, I'm sure he meant at least you could take consolation in knowing someone stuck a needle in your arm. Let's see what he says here.
Let me be clear. If you're in a state where hurricanes often strike, like Florida or the Gulf Coast or into Texas, a vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now. Everything is more complicated if you're not vaccinated and a hurricane
I don't get it.
or natural disaster hits. Let me be clear.
They just insert that in everything. You stub your toe, oh, get the jab. Oh, is a hurricane coming? Oh, go ahead and get the jab. Oh, you crash your car, make sure you get the jab. Like, this is ridiculous. They insert it everywhere. Apple sued after 67-year-old employee claimed bonus was withheld because of his age. More ageism. Salesforce is for equality and dignity of human rights. That's why the company is based in China, a leader in human rights abuses. Double standard. CEO threatens company. That's funny. I didn't know they were. I didn't know they were based in China. So they talk all that stuff. Oh man, more leftist hypocrisy. More leftist hypocrisy. What we got here? Pop Hotep retweeted this.
As one nation. But joy cometh in the morning.
Come on, Joe!
We will get through this.
We gonna get through this together, y'all.
Together.
Oh my God!
As one nation. But joy cometh in the morning.
Come on, Joe!
We will get through this.
We gonna get.
That is crazy. Oh my gosh! I told you them leftist women, man. Whew, they crazy. Let's see, parents. Your child can make a fortune in even this economy, even if they're idiots. Teach them to show up on time. Don't leave early. Don't office gossip, and don't return to the boss until a task is complete. Top 10% of the workforce, no skills required. I agree. Act your wage is new quiet quit. Y'all keep hearing about this dumb quiet quitting stuff. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's see what's trending. You want to check out Libs and TikTok to see if they got anything going on too. They always got some fun stuff. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, what's trending here? Justice Department sees Mar-a-Lago materials list is full and accurate. Okay. Fairs. Babbitt. Why is Babbitt trending? Let's see why Babbitt is trending. The View fans concerned for former host after Whoopi Goldberg shares rare update. Why is Babbitt trending? Oh, this is terrible. This was the woman that got killed, and call her quack, a MAGA T. What is MAGA T? Insurrectionist, domestic terror. Like, this is despicable. This is despicable. This woman is dead, and she served our country. Did you serve? I bet you didn't serve, sir. I gotta put something in here. No, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not even gonna participate in that. True or false? Ashley Babbitt was a domestic terrorist, and Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. Oh my God! Why is this trending right now? Oh man, I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna look at this anymore. It's starting to make me upset. Dumb stuff. Let's see what else is trending. All right, let's see. Justice Department says sees Mar-a-Lago material list is full and accurate. I went over that. Delete. What is this delete? Why is delete trending right now? Why did you panic and delete this tweet? Florida Governor DeSantis sending asylum seekers to Martha Vineyard. It's like me taking my trash out and just driving to different. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember when they posted that. Let's see here. I want to delete social media every day, but this makes me laugh, connect, and learn when I need it. If we broke up, don't use none of my lingo and delete all the songs I put on. Okay, let's see what else is trending. Biden delivers again. I can't. Let's see what they're spending today. Oh, today is September 27, 2022, and never indicated, never impeached Joe Biden is the most productive president in U.S. history. What? Biden admin is tackling a lot of things people have been complaining about for a long time, and these are the things that make a difference to a lot of working folks. I don't think these people can't be real. Breaking. At White House event, President Biden announced his new plan to crack down on junk fees across the economy, including bank overdraft fees, credit card late fees, cell phone termination fees, and airline ticket fees. Okay, sure. Sure, you're right. People believe this dumb stuff. This is not going to happen. And idiots like this guy believe that is like that's really gonna happen. You really think Biden, who is controlled by the big bank, who is controlled by these businesses, you really think he's gonna get rid of bank fees? They really believe this stuff. All right, let's see. The Wall Street Journal reports that Biden companies have brought home a record 615 jobs from China and overseas for 2 years. So why is the economy suffering? If this is true, this is all propaganda and it's all lies. We all know what the truth was really going on. Look it up. Oh my gosh. This is all fakes. This is all lies. I guess they're doing this they're trying to get ready for the midterms. They're trying to prop it up and try to make it like some real stuff going on. Medicare Part B premiums to decrease for the first time. Sure, you're right. Oh my God. I can't with these leftists. I can't. All right. Really don't understand how bad it is in Europe this year. It's going to get really bad in Europe. It's going to get really, really bad in Europe. ADOS is trending right now. Wow. Let's see. Let's see why ADOS is trending right now. Black American adults have the shortest life expectancy than any other ethnic group. That's true, especially the men, especially us men, black men, have the shortest life expectancy. My ancestors and black Americans today may disagree with you on this one. This is what white supremacy looks like. It's not just abuse and mistreatment of black people, but also inability to acknowledge our existence, our contributions. Okay. All right, let's see. What else we got here? Federal Reserve, Beto O'Rourke. Let's see what's trending. Hugh Jackman is back as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. I hope they don't. I like Deadpool. I hope they don't try to make this one of them turn Deadpool into some woke crap like the rest of Marvel been doing. Cause I really don't want to. I really don't want to see Deadpool go woke. Can Deadpool be Deadpool woke? I don't think it'll be the same. Let's see. Try guys. Let's see. Hurricane Ian. Soccer. I'm not a big soccer fan. Rap. Billy and Mandy. Who is that? Invaders, Zim and Grim Adventure. Billy and Mandy. I don't know what that is. La Brea is back, I guess. I watched a couple episodes. That was a pretty decent show from what I've seen. Why is this Asian thing trending? That's weird. Keystone XL, the Keystone Pipeline is referenced as people discuss President Joe Biden's remark on lowering gas. So let's see what this is about. President Biden canceled the proposed Keystone XL pipeline. I remember when he did that, and I said it was a stupid thing that he did. At the time, traders and analysts said, U.S.-Canada pipeline will have more than enough capacity to handle increased volumes of crude out of Canada, according to Reuters. President Biden canceled. Okay, so I guess this is just an older one. Joe Biden is calling on gas stations to lower prices. Gas stations weren't the ones who shut down the Keystone XL pipeline. I agree. So basically, our government canceled the Keystone pipeline, waived sanctions on Nord Stream pipeline, allowing Russia to tighten their grip on Europe's energy markets, and now may have just deliberately caused it to leak. Yeah, because the CIA even brought it up. What it was, I think it said 3 weeks ago. Proving once again that your research is flawed as your integrity. The Canadian company who planned to build the Keystone XL pipeline chose not to continue the pipeline because of all the environmental lawsuits associated with the building. Yeah, they stopped the pipeline because they know because of the regulations that they were expecting from Biden. So that's why they killed it. So you don't know what you're talking about, sir or ma'am or whoever you are. Keystone Pipeline has nothing to do with gas. It does. Like, these people don't know what they're talking about. And anyone that has this flag here, I can't take you seriously. If you got that flag there, I can't take you seriously. Yesterday, Joe Biden told gas stations to bring down the cost of fuel. The last time I checked, mom and pop gas stations didn't lay off 11,000 Keystone XL pipeline workers. I'm gonna have to quote tweet. Anyone with Ukraine, excuse my slow typing, in their bio, in their bio cannot be taken Seriously. Want to just keep giving. Oops, I'm struggling. You just want to keep giving. I'm struggling right now. Away our tax dollars while people here is suffering because of Biden's policies. I normally don't troll like this, but I have to. All right, let's see. Let's see what else is trending. Wife guy, I don't know what that means. Tom Hanks, I've only made 4 pretty good movies in decade-long career. What? Wow. I can't believe he said that. There's a lot of Tom Hanks movies I liked. Son to Perdition is one of my favorites. You know, Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump. What's the one where he was a kid that turned into an adult when he wished? Can't think of the name of that movie. That was a great movie. I actually like The Terminal, Saving Private Ryan. Like, I can't believe he only said 4. Wow. Big. That's the movie Tom Hanks when he became was a kid that became an adult when he wished. It was called Big. Why is Azalea trending? Let's see. Reuters, Toby. All right. So let's see what else. I'm gonna pull up. See if there are any videos going around the interweb. Let's go. Here we go. Newsbusters. Oops, hold up. There we go. All right. All right, let's see. Are there any cool videos here? Pants on Fire, Lefty Media mislead cheer. Students protesting Youngkin. Washington Post buries its own terrible poll for Biden on page 814. Typical. MSNBC applauds Civil War fan fiction from CBS about violent Texans. What is this? Let's see what this is.
And we are 42 days until our democracy faces its next big test. And it is not hyperbole to say we're in a bit of a scary moment.
How is this news? These people are supposed to be news reporters. They're They're not pundits. They're not talking heads like myself. They're not critics. They're supposed to be reporting the news. And this is how this is not reporting.
The book, The Big Truth, goes over 3 Januaries, what did not happen in 2017, what did happen in 2021, and what could happen in 2023. And we're going to begin with that 2023 what if, the cautionary tale about a possible and avoidable American unraveling. Authors Major Garrett and David Becker start this tale 42 days from now on Election Day in Texas, an open carry state where millions believe voter fraud is rampant and where poll watchers now have wide authority to move around polling places, question procedures, and exercise authority. In their story, an argument, a gunshot, and the death of a poll worker lead to the cleaving of the country. From Nancy Pelosi refusing to seat the Texas delegation because of an election tainted by violence and suppression, to Texas and other sympathetic states bordering themselves off.
This is ridiculous on the face of it. This is ridiculous what she's saying right now.
From the federal government. It is the beginning of a modern-day civil war. It is fiction, but that could change.
Well, Katie, our overarching argument in the book is that this election denialism, which is baseless, the 2020 election was not stolen. It wasn't an act of fraud. Millions of Americans voted.
So why is it not okay to say that 2020 was a fraud, but it's okay to say 2016 was a fraud? They act like we totally forgot about 2016 and how they say that Trump stole the election and Russia helped steal the election and all this other stuff. That's okay. But in 2020, if you have any questions about that, it's forbidden. How does that make sense to me?
Voted. We had the highest turnout, and the election was secure and verified. So any lie about that is creating combustible forces in American society. And those combustible forces, we argue, are not tameable. They will continue to run and fester in unpredictable and ultimately destructive ways. And we paint a scenario, it's all fiction, and it's not a prediction, but what could happen in a highly pressurized state like Texas. And you outlined what we say.
Also, it's a fiction book. You should have led with that. It's fiction.
Might happen. Those pressures in the national political bloodstream are mounting, and we could see ourselves becoming more and more separate from one another over questions of election legitimacy when there's no basis for those questions in the first place. It is a place we are heading.
So you can't ask questions. They want it where you can't ask questions. See, I think they're setting up something. They're setting up something big for 2022. That's why they that's why they're doing so much on the 2020 stuff, because they're setting us up for 2020. I can't go any further into that because you know how they do here.
Heading toward, we don't have to be there, and that's why we wrote the book.
Ridiculous. Let's see what else we got going on here. Hailey Bieber blasted for being white, wearing brown lipstick. Huh? Is that a thing? So if you white, you can't wear brown lipstick? I don't know. I don't know anything about that crazy stuff. That makes no sense to me. You should be able to wear whatever the heck you want to wear. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. MSNBC, Wine, Cinema, and McConnell said nice things to each other. That's ridiculous. Let's see. MSNBC applauds Civil War fan fiction. Went over that. Pants on Fire. Chris Wallace debuts on CNN. Tanks, and I went over that earlier today. If you check out my earlier podcast. Backbiting Women. The View bashes cinema for McConnell partnership. ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN still burying political murder of the GOP. I can't believe they're not reporting on this. This is big news and they're not reporting. But, I mean, I guess I can believe it. I need to stop saying I can't believe, because I can't believe a lot of this stuff because this is who they are. ABC ignores on poll. Let's see. 3 Krugman rules for Bidenomics that blew up in 2022. Irvin, I had to turn down big extension because I was unjabbed. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. White House calls for Atlanta Braves to change their nickname. Here they go with the names again. Arizona school offers secretive S-chat rooms for kids. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous that they're doing that. How are they getting away with this stuff? Where's the parents? Where's the outrage? All right, let's see if there's any more headlines here that we might have missed today. This is the vape cup. This is my favorite vaporizer right here. That's what y'all see me with all the time. Beto turns on Biden, blames president for Latino voter rightward shift. Okay, let's see. This is from Zero Hedge. Beto threw Biden under the bus here. Beto O'Rourke has blamed Joe Biden's action during the 2020 election as playing a part in Latino voter rightward political shift in recent years. Quote, candidate Biden didn't spend a dime or a day in Rio Grande Valley or really anywhere in Texas for that matter. Once we got down in the home stretch of the general election, O'Rourke said at the Texas Tribune Festival on September 24th, quote, you got to be locking eyeballs with the people that you want to fight for and serve and whose votes that you want to win. And I have to agree with that. You got to be locking eyeballs with the people you want to fight for. I've read that part already. The rightward shift of Hispanic and Latino voters made headlines in the 2022 election. Trump saw more support from Latino voters in 2020 than in 2016, according to Pew Research. Trump moved from 28% to 38% approval among Hispanic voters, a gain of 10%. Biden, meanwhile, earned 59% of Hispanic voters, down from 62% Democrat nominee Hillary Clinton received in her 2016 election. In South Texas, a historically Democratic stronghold, Hispanic voters shifted significantly. For example, Zapata County, where Clinton won by 33 percentage points in 2016, flipped to Trump in 2020. That's a big shift. Quote, Republicans showed up with a very strong, compelling economic message, O'Rourke said on Saturday when asked why Hispanic voters in Texas shifted to GOP. From Trump, it was literally one syllable, one word, O'Rourke continues. It was jobs, and he kind of offered a false choice. I can either keep you holed up in your house during the pandemic, or I can open up all places of employment and prioritize the economy. What did we have on our side? Nothing, he added. Well, I have to say, I'm surprised that O'Rourke is being honest with that for once. But, I mean, you do have to distance yourself from Biden. And you're going to see a lot of candidates. The closer we get to the midterms, the more you're going to see them pushing away from Biden, because Biden is very, very unpopular. Very, very unpopular right now. The momentum Republicans gain among Hispanics appeared to be sustained in Texas so far. In June's special election, conservative Republican Mayor Flores defeated Democrat Dan Sanchez by roughly 8 percentage points. That's a lot. That's a huge defeat. Flores became only the second Republican to ever win in Rio Grande Valley congressional district and the first Mexican-born Republican ever elected to Congress from Texas. O'Rourke, who is facing off against Republican Governor Greg Abbott in the upcoming midterm election, said he would not repeat the same errors Democrat made 2 years ago. Quote, I am making sure that we do not commit the same sin as some Democrats before me have committed, which is take voters of color, black voters, and Latinos for granted, he said, adding that the Spanish language skill gave him competitive advantage. They still gonna get taken. I mean, black people. Do you really think the Democrats care about you? The only time they ever talk about you is during the election cycle. After that, you get nothing. Like, Trump came to us. He had that platinum plan that he came up with Ice Cube, and said, "Here's the plan. You elect me. This is the plan. I will go. We will stick to this plan." And Biden wouldn't even meet with Ice Cube. Biden said, "Meet me after the election. We'll meet." And we still never got that meeting. We still never got that meeting with Biden. Recent polls show that the Democratic candidate is falling behind Abbott, who is seeking a third term as governor. According to the poll released on September 19th by the Dallas Morning News and the University of Texas at Tyler, Abbott had a lead of 19 percentage points over O'Rourke. But the 49-year-old shrugged off the survey results, said, quote, I take these polls with a grain of salt, he said. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. All right, let's check out Gateway Pundit. Philadelphia high school football team shot at leaving scrimmage. 4 students wounded, 1 killed. This is ridiculous. Philadelphia, y'all got to get this under control. All these big cities got to get it under control. It's a football game, a football scrimmage, and kids are getting killed at football. You can't even go to a football game anymore. Sad. It's sad. This is Biden though. This is his policies. Iowa father sentenced to 7 years in prison by vicious Amy Berman Jackson for grabbing an officer's wrist and handing someone a taser. Capitol cop fan and tell him, "I hope you suffer." Biden economy, and now the housing market tanks. Oh gosh, and I'm trying to sell a house. This is not good news. I'm not even gonna read this right now. Maybe I'll read it tomorrow. I'll treat it like some leftist news that I don't want to hear. I'll stick my head in the sand. So let me save this to Pocket. If y'all don't have Pocket, I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that. But I use Pocket to save a lot of my articles. That way I can refer back to them, and it's a really good service. Like if you got a piece of news that you remember, you might remember like one or two words from the headline. You could type it in and search it, and it'll pop up the article. It's really cool. So y'all might want to check that out if y'all really into news like me. Satanic. John Fetterman cuts ad claiming he made communities safer when crime quadrupled in his city. Like, I can't believe the audacity. But they can get away, again, they get away with this because the media does not check them on it. Guarantee he's going to get on TV and no one's going to ask him like, hey, you got an ad claiming you made communities safer. But statistics show that crime has risen under you. Can you explain yourself? I can guarantee that will never happen. That will never happen. What is Joe Biden hiding? Biden office concerned about political sensitivities of releasing Senate papers currently under lock and key at University of Delaware. How? Zuckerberg falls off list of top 10 wealthiest. I don't really care about that. FBI changes the number of documents they stole from President Trump's estate. Let's see what this is about. This sounds very interesting. The FBI admitted in court yesterday that it had misrepresented the number of documents that it had taken from the home of President Trump. But first, let me stop here for a second. If you are gonna run in, bust in the house of the former president of the United States, you better make sure you cross every T. You better make sure you dot every I. You better count every single thread of evidence that you got. And this FBI, they're supposed to be the top department, the top police officers of our country. And you telling me they messed up? These people are corrupt. I think they're covering something up. They're hiding something. They're covering something up. But according to Resist the Mainstream, an FBI supervisor attests in a court document filed Monday that the inventory of documents seized from Mar-a-Lago was wrong. Inventory, sorry. Struggling. It is unclear why the Department of Justice names and shares private information about former President Trump, but shrinks from naming accusory agents. The Epoch Times reported 63 additional documents or photographs without classification markings were taken from Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort than previously listed by the FBI, according to an updated inventory list. So the things that they're supposed to be taking, top secret documents, documents that he's quote unquote not supposed to have, and you telling me you took some documents that wasn't classified? Why? We all know the reason. Oops. We all know the reason why. This is a witch hunt. The revised inventory was submitted to the federal court in Southern Florida on orders from U.S. District Judge Raymond Deary, and a Reagan appointee who was inserted into the case as a special master or an independent third party to handle disputes and other matters. Deary ordered a government official with sufficient knowledge of the matter to submit a declaration or affidavit stating whether the detailed property inventory released on September 2nd, quote, represents the full and accurate extent of the property seized from Trump's home in August when FBI agents executed a search warrant. Let me save this article because I'm definitely going to be referring back to this. An FBI supervisory special agent whose name was redacted fulfilled the order. The agent based in Washington said he or she leads a squad of special agents, intelligence analysts, and other personnel in carrying out counterintelligence and espionage investigations, and that their team executed the warrant. The earlier inventory was proposed by the agent and workers under their direction, but wanting to make sure that the inventory was accurate, quote, I and FBI personnel working under my direction conducted an additional review and recount of the seized material in order to make this declaration. The agent said, no, what happened was you took stuff that you wasn't supposed to take, and then you lied about it, and now that you found out that they hired a special master or a special investigator, you like, oh, we better fix this before we get busted on this. That's what it is. They're covering their butts. That's what this is. Epoch Times review of the earlier and current inventory list showed the differences included 63 non-classified documents or photographs being added to the total the FBI said it seized. Additionally, the new list contains two fewer 2 fewer magazines, newspaper, press articles, and 2 fewer empty folders with classified banners. You see, this is crazy. It's crazy that they did. They're basically just covering their butts. They know they had no business taking them. Some of the boxes seized from Trump's home were said to contain more documents now. Others were said to contain fewer. The update, if accurate, means the government seized over 11,200 non-classified material from. So why are they taking the non-classified stuff? That's the question. The agents said he or she declared under the penalty of perjury that they were, quote, not aware of any documents or other material seized from Trump's home that were not listed in the updated inventory, with the exception of materials taken by government's filter team. The FBI had no right to invade the president's home in the first place, as attorney Mike Davis noted a month ago. The FBI raid was unnecessary, unprecedented, and unlawful. Totally agree. We also know that the FBI didn't just illegally steal the president's property. The FBI also inserted documents into the inventory of documents obtained to make the scene appear like the president had classified. Yeah, we know that they staged this. We know that they doctored this. The FBI is so dirty. I can't stand them. I can't stand the FBI. All right, let's see. Let's see. Russia confirms sporadic contents with U.S. on nuclear weapons. General Unjab, National Guardsman activated for Hurricane Ian. Tesla Shanghai plant running under maximum capacity despite recent production upgrades. Quote, the train crash scenario. California EV mandates will further stress an already exhausted electric grid. I agree. I think I covered that before. U.S. blew up Russian gas pipeline Nord Stream 1 and 2, says former Polish defense minister. Wow, this is huge. This is huge. A former Polish defense minister, Radek Sikorski, has attributed the United States the sibotage of 2 pipelines, Nord Stream 1 and 2, which carry natural gas from Russia to Germany. Thank you, USA, Sikorski wrote on Twitter. Sikorski was Minister of National Defense from 2005 to 2007 and served as Deputy Minister of National Defense and Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs previously. He is currently an elected member of the European Parliament. Nord Stream 1 and 2 lie on the bed of the Baltic Sea. Nord Stream 2 was finished last year, but Germany never opened it because Russia invaded Ukraine on February 2024. Poland Secretary of State Stanislaw Zarlin denounced Sarkozy's claim on Twitter as Russian propaganda, calling it a smear campaign against Poland, the U.S., and the Ukraine, accusing the West of aggression against NS1 and NS2, authenticating the Russian lies as this particular moment jeopardizes the security of Poland. What an act of gross irresponsibility. No, you just mad that he's telling the truth. This is when you know you doing it. When you get attacked like this, and he's from Poland. So why would he make this stuff up? And this is what happens. You get attacked like this. You know you're hitting the mark when they attack you. Irresponsibility. But it's not out the realm of possibility that the U.S. is indeed behind the attack. President Joe Biden promised on February 2nd to prevent Nord Stream 2 from becoming operational if Russia invaded Ukraine. If Russia invades, said Biden, then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it. Let me save this. I forgot that Biden had said that. They got the actual video. Let me just play the actual video here.
Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
But how will you do that?
Yeah, how will you do that?
Exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will. I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to retweet this. Oh, what is the exact quote here? Let's see. Yeah, let me do this. Let me copy this here. And remember, I totally forgot that he said that. I have to retweet this. No. What is going on with my typing today? Well, you played your hand, bruh. You should have never said this. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. Excuse my slow computer. Boomer tech over here.
If you'd like to tell me how I can improve.
Cancel.
I have feedback.
All right. I know I was over here at Zero Hedge, but this came through, so let's check this out. Another Gateway Pundit. Gateway Pundit does great work. Sometimes they can be a little petty, a little too petty for me, but most of the time, like I say, the majority of the time, they put out really, really good news. But sometimes, like it'll be something where Biden do like a little his foot will slip a little bit, and then they'll write a whole article about that, and I'm like, okay, that's a bit too petty for me. But other than that, they write some great articles. A conservative Indiana-based lawyer filed a lawsuit against Biden regime on Tuesday in an effort to block Joe Biden's unconstitutional student loan forgiveness program. Joe Biden unilaterally announced a massive forgiveness of student loans last month. Biden canceled over $10,000 in student loan debt for borrowers earning $125,000 a year or less, and up to $20,000 for recipients of Pell Grants. In the lawsuit filed Tuesday, the conservative group argued that Joe Biden did not have the authority to cancel student loan debt. Quote, the Department of Education did not undertake the notice and comment process required for rulemaking, much less solicit any public input, the suit says. According to NBC News, it did not even issue a formal order or directive setting out its cancellation program. Nothing about the loan cancellation is lawful or appropriate, the lawyer said. In an end run around Congress, the administration threatened to enact a profound and transformational policy that will have untold economic impacts. The administration's lawless action should be stopped immediately. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So that's that. I'm not going to read too much more of that. All right. Let's see. I can't believe after all that the military's been doing, every branch of the military, what they've been doing to the unjabbed. Now, because it's a hurricane, they're like, oh, you know what? Unjab, y'all all right. Come on, we're going to activate you for this hurricane because we need you right now. Like, it's ridiculous. It's despicable. How about you just get rid of the mandate? How about that? Let's see. U.S. egg price hit record high as resurgent bird flu dent production. Wow, this is another bird flu. Y'all remember the bird flu from years ago? Birds be dropping out the sky and everybody be all scared and stuff. I'm not gonna lie though, I do remember seeing a lot of dead birds. I do remember that. Let's see. Red State, Joe Manchin humiliation is complete after deal falls through. So he did all of that. He wheeled and dealed for the Inflation Act, which is going to cause more inflation. What is it called? The Inflation Reduction Act, which is going to cause more inflation. He said, okay, you give me this, I'll go with the deal. And he ends up now the deal falling through after he did all that to put in this messed up money spending Green New Deal in another name. And he's not even getting what he want now. Idiot. West Virginia, y'all got to get rid of Manchin. Let's see. Dr. J. Bakara advocates, sorry, I'm tripping right now, against California medical misinformation bill and stifles dissent. Let's check this one out because I agree with that. It does stifle dissent. Like you can't have debate. So you can't have debate. You can't. This is ridiculous. California has some crazy laws. I don't know how anyone votes for this crazy stuff. All right. Among the foolish legislation California lawmakers allowed to pass. That's what I was just alluding to. They got some crazy laws allowed to pass in this session of the legislature, criminalizing medical doctors for, quote, spreading disinformation about stupid 19 is at the top of idiocracy ladder. Assemblyman Evan Lowe and Senator Dr. Richard Pan, both Bay Area Democrats, sponsored bill AB 2098 for just that purpose. It was passed by the legislator and now sits on the government Gavin Newsom's desk for either veto or signature. Should Newsom not make a decision by October 1st, the bill passes into law. What? So if they don't sign it, a bill automatically passes? That's wild. From Fox News, President Joe Biden may have declared the pandemic over, but someone needs to tell the state of California. A bill sitting on Governor Gavin Newsom's desk would levy career-ending penalties on doctors deeming guilty of spreading so-called misinformation related to the stupids. And if enacted, this law has the potential to destroy the medical profession and stifle innovation from coast to coast. The bill in question, AB 2098, would allow the Medical Board of California to revoke a doctor's license to practice medicine in the state for exercising an opinion contradicted by contemporary scientific consensus contrary to the standard of care. The problem is that contemporary scientific consensus has fluctuated wildly over the past 2 years. And that's true. The stuff I was saying about the stupids on my old channel, which got deleted, you can say it now. It's okay to say it now. It's crazy. Dr. J. Bakara is an epidemiologist and professor of health policy for Stanford University School of Medicine. just call him Dr. B. Dr. B is also the co-author of the Great Barrington Declaration, and I've covered that before. In 2020, the GBD letter took the unprecedented step of calling out wrong of health experts and medical personnel and promoting lockdowns and shutting down world economies for a virus which studies have shown has a 99.95% survival rate for healthy people under the age of 7 who have no comorbidities. Dr. B also targeted by Dr. Anthony Fauci and NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins, so he is no stranger to being attacked for telling the truth and condemning adherence to medical consensus, no matter what the cost. Former New York Times journalist Barry Weiss invited Dr. B on her Common Sense Substack to discuss his experience and warned about evils embedded in AB 2098. In October 2020, I, along with colleague Santara Gupta of Oxford and Martin Koldorf, then of Harvard, issued an open letter called The Great Barrington Reef. I'm not really going to get into that because I went over that before. I think I talked about it on my Patreon. If you're not a member, go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon where I talk about all this stuff. But good on Dr. B for fighting a good fight, because that law in California is ridiculous. No wonder people are fleeing that state. Let's see if anything else we got here. Korean Jean-Pierre says U.S. would welcome Russian men seeking asylum. I mean, this is crazy. So we just supposed to take in everybody now, I guess. I guess we're just supposed to take in everyone from every country now. This is crazy. It's unsustainable. All right. I was not expecting to go for 2 hours, but I'm already been going for 1 hour and 47, so why not? Let's do another 13 minutes. Let's make it a full 2 hours, I guess. American airline passengers treated to weird mysterious noises over planes intercom. Oklahoma says hospital connecting minors with trans surgeries must stop or lose millions in funding. Good on them. Solar panels remain stuck in warehouses as European energy crisis darkens. I just don't see it happening. Joe Concha pours cold water on predictions of Dem comeback. Yeah, it's ridiculous because everyone knows. First of all, it will be going against the norm. It'll be going against what we've seen in the past, which we know sometimes stuff like this happens from time to time. But something like this, most of the time, the opposite party. After a major presidential thing, the midterms afterwards, normally the opposite party takes control. That's the norm. So you got to go, first of all, you'd be going against the norm. Second of all, you're going against the economy. Most people vote with their money. When you got crime as high as it is, you got the cost of living is as high as it is. They're not going to vote for the party that's in power right now. I mean, it's common sense. Again, it's only one way I think that Democrats are going to win, and that's maybe with some chicanery. I don't think, so I don't understand. So how does someone like Michael Moore come out and say, oh, it's going to be a what did he say? He said it's going to be a bloodbath or a landslide or whatever he said. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Even by chance, if they do win, it's definitely not going to be by a landslide. Former BuzzFeed Try Guy tries his friend's fiance. I don't really get into stuff like that. Billionaire Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has zero idea how to work a cell phone camera. Y'all leave poor Jerry alone, man. Dallas Cowboys my team. Y'all leave poor Jerry alone. Fed indict alleged fraudster in scheme that involved $100 million local deli. Wow. Realization hit me like a flood. The Terminal List star says she was sexually assaulted early in her career. Biden's America stinks on ice. Inflation already hurting holiday shopping. I can't do it anymore. Christian Bale explains why he had to distance himself from Chris Rock on their film set. Federal tax collections set to rise $1 trillion in a single year. That's because they hired all them agents, and now they're coming for the middle class. Chemical castration and gender affirming care can be synonymous. Leading Transgender Health Association suggests. Anthony Bourdain's final text message revealed, including message to girlfriend Asia Argentino. So that was the Daily Caller. We got the Washington Examiner over here. Pence's political nonprofit group airing ads to unseat House Democrat targeted by Republicans. Mastriano said women would violate abortion ban, should face murder charges in 2019 interview. FEMA insists Biden DeSantis tensions aren't affecting Hurricane Ian response. Folks have an option to opt out. White House responds to student loans lawsuit. What does that mean? Let's see what this is. What do you mean they can opt out? Opt out of what? The White House on Tuesday responded to a legal challenge against President Joe Biden. $500 billion. That's $500 billion student loan forgiveness program, arguing that folks have an option to opt out of the program rather than incur a tax penalty. Biden's plan is facing its first serious legal scrutiny. Okay, I get all that, but I want to know, why do they think people are going to opt out? A plaintiff in Indiana has filed, John Pierre. Opponents of Biden-Harris administration student loan forgiveness are trying to stop it because they know it will provide much-needed relief for working families, she said. So I'm just trying to figure, where's the opt-out part? That's what I'm looking for. Let's watch this. Oh, it's a whole 44 minutes. I'm not watching it. I don't see where they talk about opting out though. Because Garrison is a Pell Grant recipient, he is eligible for $20,000 in loan forgiveness, but removing the amount of his principal debt would alter nothing for a situation aside from giving him a tax bill worth more than $1,000 according to what? See, I'm glad I read that part here. I had no idea. I had no idea that you're gonna have a big tax if you take this. They don't tell you that. They are slick. Man, the government is slick. The suit argues that as an enrollee of the PSLF program, the forgiveness would happen automatically and leave him with a higher tax bill. Jean-Pierre insinuated that this is not the case. The bottom line is this: no one who does not want debt relief will have to get the debt relief. So folks have an option to opt out. That is slick. I did not know that you would have $1,000 penalty, tax penalty, tax bill if you take this money. That is wild. I'm definitely gonna have to save this article. See, they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. Wow. Let's see what else. Greg Abbott attacked Beto as soft on border security amid fentanyl crisis. Texas Republicans indicate that they may revisit exceptions to abortion law. Texas Republicans indicate they may Republicans have rare chance to force Democrats' hand on border crisis. Family of January 6th defendant sad but relieved over 4-year sentence. Wow. The Federalist January 6th committee decides to move final trial hearing even closer to Election Day. And that's what this whole dog and pony show is about. And the sad part is you're ruining these people's lives. The majority of them, all they did was maybe trespass. And you're ruining these people's lives just for election purposes. But the thing is, it's not helping your case at all. This is not swaying anybody that might be over on the fence. What are the odds? Consensus makes overwhelming benefit Democrats, of course. Whenever stuff goes wrong, whenever there's mistakes, it always goes in the left favor. 56 GOP members begged their colleagues to do anything to stop Biden's destructive agenda. Anti-police Mandela Barnes spend more than $500,000 taxpayer dollars for personal security. Blah, blah, blah. Breitbart, NYC subway attack victim may lose sight in one eye. Do you know how scared I am now? That's crazy, man. That is crazy. It's not safe in these big cities. Mali women basketball player brawl after World Cup loss. Breitbart News Daily Podcast. Okay. Lisa Murkowski saddled with pro-impeachment vote tied re-election bid. Charlie Theron admits she traded dignity for stardom. Milwaukee Police Association endorses Ron Johnson re-election bid. Let's see. The Free Beacon, inflation bites. New York Times, NYT union demands annual 8% pay raise. Well, the left are for unions. That's what y'all get. Savior of Tehran. China props up Tehran with major oil purchases. S&P 500 hits 2-year low. Camilla finally goes to the border in Korea. That's right. She went to the DMZ. She's going to the DMZ, but she refuses to visit our southern border. Rough shape. Bernie trashes Biden economy. I told you they're throwing Biden under the bus now. They have to. Again, like I keep saying, the closer they get to midterms, the more they're gonna throw him under the bus. They have to. Delaware judge to hear argument over information exchange between Elon Musk, Twitter lawyers. This is from Fox News. California inmate on death row dies of natural causes. California man sentenced for fraudulently obtaining $5 million in COVID-19 relief. LeBron James get help from Ohio State AD about college eligibility in another sport. What? That would be funny. That would be funny if he's eligible. I don't think he is though. I mean, I guess technically he could be, because he didn't go to college. So maybe if he technically could be eligible. It's pretty interesting. I would watch it. I would watch him play another sport. Let's see. Arizona Department of Education linked to chat rooms where minors. And I went over that one already. It's disgusting. Seattle to vote on $1.25 billion in new taxes to fund mental health systems. Just keep throwing money at it. That'll fix the problem. That's what they believe. Have I gone over this? Let's go over Broadnet Daily. Top London cardiologist stop the stupid shots now. Italy conservative triumph. American needs the same. Is the church in America really dying? Lefty terrorist kills Republican teen over political argument. Free on bail. So this is old. This is old stuff there. Let's check out Fox Business. Bank of America report nearly 2/3 of Americans worried about finances. Wharton, Jeremy Siegel, rips Fed, went over that. Apple Pay later unexpectedly delayed until further notice. Wow, I wonder what's going on with that. NYC restaurant owner robbed at gunpoint, begs leaders to take criminals off the streets. Ugh, sad. It's sad. It's sad. Let's see if there is anything else. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle demoted on royal family official website amid rift. I gotta tell you, I love it. I love it because I knew that Meghan Markle was not really a good person. I just do it. I could tell by the way she talked, the way she carried herself, that she feels entitled. And then she took that entitlement, that Hollywood entitlement, she took it with her. and the Queen ain't want nothing to do with that stuff. And it's crazy. And they try to come blame it on racism. It's not racism. It's just she's a terrible person, and they don't want to deal with her. Texas couple poop trap backfires. Thieves retaliate with cow dung. What? What is going on? U.S. would welcome Russia's fleeing military draft. White House says. We talked about that. NYC Uber Eats delivery man says nobody helped as Super Perp with 103 prize allegedly stabbed him. Well, it's New York. New York people just mind their own business. It's crazy. They don't care about nothing. I accidentally bought someone's purse and turned to social media to find her. How do you buy someone else's purse? Prince Harry, Meghan Markle demoted. We went over that. All right, let's see if we got anything over here. The Western Journal. Gutfield think he has his finger on why his show is successful. Offers advice to The View. Sonny Austin. NASA crashes. $308 million spaceship directly into asteroid. Moments before violent end captured on photo. Wow. They just throwing money away. Throwing money away. Let's make sure there's no more news before we call it a night. Utah court orders woman hand over Boudoir album to ex-husband. Boudoir album. California man arrested after allegedly planning a Las Vegas-style massacre. Ford GM upgrade their heavy-duty pickup profit machines. One-on-one with counterterrorism expert author. Okay. All right. New York Times admits that hundreds of top surgeries are being performed on children. Ugh, man. That's what they've been saying all along. They've been saying that they tried. That's what, and they're going back and trying to remove it from the websites to parents are finding out what's going on. Poll: majority of Americans disapprove of affirmative action in college admissions. Teachers union leader says competition in education is bad. How is competition bad? Competition makes it so that every school have to perform, or they have to worry about losing funding. And if they, that's what it's about. It makes the school the best. It make the teachers be their best, and make the schools have to be their best. And they don't want that competition. That's why they can't stand school choice. Right. All right, so that's all the news we can cover today. Gave you a whole 2 hours. I gave you, I think, an hour earlier today. So that's 3 hours of news. So subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my Twitter where I'm very active on Twitter. Y'all see me on Twitter here. And also my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram where I put out news throughout the day. Very important news, and you can stay informed throughout the day and know some of the news. And it's quick, easy reads. You can read them like in a few seconds. So check it out there. Until next time, peace.